Hey guys, how's it going? Elliot here again. In today's video, we are going to be checking out these really weird Game Boy games. That's right, this is actually a Game Boy game. You're probably used to seeing it look like this. Obviously, this is far shorter than the actual Game Boy game. It just goes beneath the little notch there, so they didn't have to make a cutout. It's pretty much the same dimensions other than that. The stickers are a little bit shorter as well as a result of this whole thing being shorter. There's nothing on the top. There isn't really any sort of branding on here. These games were made by a company called Satchen. I've actually got two of them. This is another one. It's different color, but more or less going to be pretty much the same kind of build. And yeah, actually this one's missing a screw. I'm going to go ahead and say that probably about 90% of you, 99% of you have never ever heard of these games before. You're probably wondering what on earth this console is if you're not from my channel. This is a Mega Duck. This was released around about the same time as the Game Boy Pocket. And yeah, I mean, it's obviously meant to look like a Game Boy kind of thing. The screens are about the same size as the Game Boys. This is a screen that's about the same size as the Game Boy Pocket right here. This is the Game Boy Light. Yeah, it's pretty much the same technology screen. The actual specifications of this were very similar to the Game Boys themselves. These are the games for the Mega Duck. And yeah, really cheap kind of exposed pins. But other than that, look pretty similar to a Game Boy. So why have I got both of these consoles out next to each other? That is because these games, and I have spoken about this briefly before on my channel, these games are these games. Basically, when the Mega Duck flopped completely, they spent all this time and money, although not really worth it, on these Mega Duck games that they decided, hey, why not port it over to the more successful console? We couldn't make a successful one of our own, so let's just put it on the Game Boy, which is obviously pretty much completely owning the handheld market back in the day. Sony and Sega rather desperately trying to cling on to the edge of the mountain. So here we go. These are three games. I haven't actually got all four. One of them is a game called Pile Wander, which we'll check out in just a second, and I don't have that game. But other than that, this is going to have these three games on it. So what we're going to do is just pop it in here. One thing I really would like to quickly note is that when I plug a game into my Game Boy Advance SP and then turn it on, you'll see that it does register this size here, and it also says common underneath instead of Nintendo. But that's it. It doesn't work. This only works, and it doesn't work on a Game Boy Color either. This only works on three Game Boys: the DMG, the Game Boy Pocket, and the Game Boy Light. Don't know why, but that is just the case. I thought I'd get the Game Boy Light out here just so that I can kind of show you guys the screen a little bit better. I don't have any modded DMGs to show you. So there we go. You see it just like Nintendo, it scrolls down, which I think is really quite interesting. But there we go, there's the games there. We'll have a look at them in just a second. I thought what we'd do is just get the infamous Snake Roy out. If you guys haven't seen this artwork before, then yeah, pretty unique. So let's chuck that in there and turn on this beast. Oh god, that's a lot of strange beeping sounds. Let's see if we can get the screen relatively visible to the human eye. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom the camera in here and take a look at the comparison. So we've got Pile Wander. Funnily enough as well, we have this little cursor type thing going on. But if I just click Snake Roy, there we go. Let's turn the volume down because that's going to be awful. So we now have two copies of Snake Roy. One of them is on the Game Boy and one of them on the Mega Duck. Did you ever think the day would come? Probably not, because you don't care. But let's press start on each of these beasts. And now you can definitely see more clearly this little cut screen, which is just basically a little witch walking through a castle, and it's really painful. And then, other than that, it's absolutely identical. There is no differences whatsoever to the Game Boy version, other than that it's actually visible to the human eye, which is something that you're probably not used to looking at on the Mega Duck. So, but yeah, really interesting. In order to turn it off and get back to the menu, you literally have to turn the whole thing off. But I thought what we could do quickly is just compare Puppet Night, which is the Bomberman clone. If you guys haven't seen my games review kind of that I did for the Mega Duck, I went through and just did a showcase of all the games that I own. Puppet Night, there we go. I really like that menu system. This game is actually really well made. And there we go. Now we've got Puppet Night on the Game Boy as well. You can really see the difference there in the screen quality. Really able to actually see what's going on. But it's absolutely identical. Like, there's no differences other than the fact that it's just far easier to see the screen. As I said before, I don't know why these games go for... in fact, I think I mentioned that. These games are really, really expensive. They go for quite a lot of money. You probably won't find one cartridge for less than about £20. I was lucky that these were sold as broken and not working, but I just got a bit of rubbing alcohol on the pins, and then that got it working fine. I thought I'd also just show you this working on the Game Boy Pocket. This is actually a Game Boy Pocket that I modded to look like a Game Boy Light. I've installed a backlight on the screen as well. So let's pop that in there. If you guys want to check that out, I've got a video on that as well. So there we go, common, just scrolling down. Let's have a look at the final game that I have, which is Solomon's Treasure, or Solomon, something like that. Chuck that in there. And then it's down here. Backlight's going to be a little bit flickery on this. I think the batteries are dying. And there we go. So we've got 2 games on here. I just can't believe it's just such a weird thing to see Mega Duck games on the Game Boy. Is this game frozen here or something? Yeah. So a lot of people are actually commenting and saying kind of how to complete this. I think what you have to do is just kill or get all the ball kind of things, and you can actually eat the enemy monsters, and I think that's how you kill them. You just have to go into them and eat them up. But then if they go into you, then you die. The final game that's on here, we'll just check it out for the sake of checking it out. The final game on here is actually a rip-off of a slightly more popular Game Boy game, I believe. It's called Pile Wander, but it's basically a game where you just move bricks into holes, and then you go through the levels. It's a really nice game actually, but it's not going to... obviously, to think that you could play like Mario Land and Zelda on this thing, whereas people on the Mega Duck were playing these simple brick games. Probably not going to sell too many Mega Ducks, but there we go. You just press the little, push the little blocks onto the holes, and then you win. That's pretty much it. Right, well, I've also got another one here, but I'm not going to show you this one just yet because I don't have any of these games. So we'll save that for another video when I have the games to compare on the Mega Duck. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. A little bit different. Usually, if you guys are new to my channel, I'll do like repairs and refurbs and modifications and stuff, but some of this stuff is just not documented online, and I just thought it would be quite nice to get it out there and give these things a little bit of light, because at the end of the day, they are bad, but it's pretty cool that they were just going for it at the time, trying to compete. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel, then please subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, then leave a like, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.